Welcome to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm your host, Mahad, and we're back with another episode. We are not gone. If there's no racing, guess what? We're still here. Sorry we're a bit late, though, because, the weekend was a bit busy and we didn't drop the episode like we usually do on Monday. So if you are listening, you're listening on Wednesday. But yeah, thank you for tuning in for another episode. Usual housekeeping. Please follow us on Pitstop Fracas on Twitter. Follow us on Pitstop Fracas on Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. We love to see all your comments and we love to reply to them. So please interact with us. Spotify, Apple, please leave a review, 5-star. Give us some of your nice thoughts as well. And if you are interested in my merch, please follow the link that's in the YouTube bio and in the Pitstop and in the Apple podcast bio as well. Get yourself some cheap merch. I think there's going to be a lot of sales as we head towards the end of the season. It's crazy. There's only like 6 races left as well, which is it 6 races? I think it's 6 or 7.
6 races, man.
Yeah.
So quick.
As you may hear, if you're listening to audio, I'm followed. I am joined by brother Kwame. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, we're going to now a break. We've done all the European races. It's come to the point of the season where it's starting to get wrapped now, let's be honest, but the silly season is starting. The silly season of drivers, part of the grid where the backmark team still haven't full their drivers yet, for next year. It's that point in the year. It's that point in the year now where they're doing some dumb decisions, but we'll talk about that later, innit?
Yeah, we're going to see some dumb decisions and dumb headlines, and you're going to be thinking, what is this team doing? What are they planning for next year? Because as we're winding towards the end of the season now, we're hitting the Asia leg, so we're going to hit Singapore, Japan. We ain't been there since 2019, pre-pandemic, We ain't been to those 2 races, so it's going to be good to see those 2 races, and then we're just going to go on that home stretch of races. But as you just said, let's talk about some of the decision making of one team, because we don't know what's going on over there, and it's everybody's favorite American team, Haas. So Haas have been rumored that Mick Schumacher is not going to be in that seat next year. Some people may think that's a dumb decision. Some people think it's a strange decision. I personally think it's something to do with not on-track performance. I think it's something else. I think they just don't like each other, and Mick's just trying to find his way out of that situation. As you heard, that he may have he's left the Ferrari Academy, I think, and he's trying to just cut all ties with that situation, and that includes Haas. So there has been rumors on who's going to take that seat, because Magnussen is secured for next year as well.
Yeah,
so
he's got multi doing it. So
he's got
that's the only reason why K-Max still there, because boy, his performance has been equal with Mick, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later.
He's been out of F1. Mick's not.
But he's been better. He was better the first half of the season. Like, he's got since Canada, Mick's arguably been better than him. Yes, from Bahrain especially, came out of this thing, got points. Whoopie-doo. Obviously, he's doing way better than Mick.
No, we can't do whoopie-doo for points, bro.
But now
this is Haas. Every point
that car was like the full fastest car that we could.
And when it came down to deliver, who got the points?
K-Mac.
That's what I'm saying, bro. K-Mac's finishing 5th in races, bro. Mick could only dream. Mick has only got 12 points.
He's got more than a certain Prada boy, though. That's what I'm taking. He's got more than a certain Prada boy, but I'll calm down. Sorry, man. I'm too excited, man. I'll calm down.
Like, K-Mag, he's seat secured. Let's not talk about K-Mag, because I respect K-Mag. Let's go through a list of names who's been rumored to take that Haas seat. So obviously Mick Schumacher, there may be a situation where he stays. But let's go through this list. Daniel Ricciardo. Do you think Daniel Ricciardo could fit in that team? Do you think that's something that he's interested in anyway?
I don't think it interests him. Like, I don't know. Daniel Ricciardo seems to me like the driver who, I know he's saying that, I want to stay in F1. I think that's him doing the plea. I think he's a driver who podiums or nothing. That's why I see him. Like, him retiring at 31, 32, whatever, how he is, wouldn't surprise me, because he always seemed like to me like, once I've stopped winning, once I stop competing, I'll go off somewhere to the States, do IndyCar, do NASCAR, do whatever. Do what Kimi originally was meant to do when Ferrari paid him off to go and do rally or whatever. That's how I see Daniel Rick. So I don't see him going to Haas personally. I don't see him going out to the back of the grid, especially a guy with such a big name himself. His DR3 brand, his merch, his drinks, whatever. I don't see him going down to Haas. But I think for Haas will be a good fit because, we know Daniel was going to drive in him. We know he's matching Max when he first came to F1. He was putting up that Renault team into podium positions. Just unfortunate to McLaren these past 2 seasons, but apart from that, he's got a very good CV. He's even been in the back of the grid of HRT before. So he's got the experience there, but has to break boys as well. And I don't know how much they'll pay to secure Daniel Rick in that contract as well. Brother, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yes, as you may be aware, Daniel Ricciardo is unemployed next year. For listeners, if you've been living on a rock or living on the moon, or you've not been away and not been paying attention, he has been replaced by Oscar Piastri, and he doesn't have a seat at this moment in time. I'm personally of the view beggars can't be choosers. It's an F1 seats right there. You get me? You mentioned, Kwame, that look, it's what podiums or bust right now for him.
That's the type of driver he just like. That's the type of driver that I see him as. Like points or bust.
He got one podium at McLaren. He got one. Like Lando got 1, 2, 3.
So Lando's got the 4. Same
podium. He got 4 in the same year. He got 1.
Yeah, there you go.
So, 5 if you include this year's Imola as well. So he was at a team which was capable of getting podiums. Obviously, less frequent this year because if you're not in a Red Bull, Ferrari, or Mercedes, you're not really getting a podium. But those seats are not opening up at this moment in time. So maybe I believe personally he might have lost his shot at the big time in terms of big seats. Not to say that McLaren's like a big seat or anything like that, but those seats at Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes, that ain't happening, mate. So if you want to be a Formula One driver, Haas might be the option. Are you gonna still be expected to be paid like he was getting paid before? Got 30 million a year at Renault. He's getting 15 million a year at McLaren. Gunter Steiner ain't opening his purse like that. They ain't got the facilities, big man. You've been getting caviar this whole time. It's time to end up at McDonald's. You're going to be a McDonald's F1 team. So if the situation arises where Alpine don't want you, and no other situation don't want you, it's either you go to another car series where you're going to win, right? So you go to like IndyCar where you can go to probably a top team and challenge for wins and stuff like that, or you go to you just chill in the midfield, back of the grid type of thing, collect a check. So, but I really don't think this Haas situation is in Gunter's court. It's more like if Ricciardo wants that seat, he can get that seat if he wants.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought
his stocks ain't down that bad.
Yeah, it's actually that's the thing. Like compared to the other guys on that list, Danny can at least control the situation. Them other guys on the list, it all depends on one man at Ferrari. That's who it depends on. But you see, Danny Rick, he still got some stocks because he got the wins, in his career. The 8 wins or so, he can still kind of play his cards. If he wants to drop, if he wants to humble himself, humble his pie, he can lower down his paycheck and be like, yo, I'll drive for Haas. And Haas will definitely take him because Haas ain't getting better than Daniel. Let's be honest. At this moment.
It would be their greatest ever driver in their history.
You're not wrong because their greatest driver will either be Grosjean or K-Mac. So it's not a hard list.
It's a legacy driver for him. But yeah, for real, like, it's a situation with Haas now, like, I don't know if the guy's selling the team. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't want to sell it to Andretti. Andretti's got the bread. I don't know what the actual situation is, what they want to do. Like some teams, you kind of understand what their 5-year plan is and what they're trying to do. I still don't know what Haas's 5-year plan is.
I don't know, man.
And I don't know what their situation is with Ferrari as well. Like, does Ferrari control one of those seats or not?
They're meant to.
Chris will tell me, yeah.
Allegedly.
And Gunter's telling me, nah. So I don't know what's going on. They've come out multiple times saying, look, Ferrari has no control of that seat. And now I heard today Bonotto saying, "Oh, Schwartzman deserves a seat, but there's not enough seats." So it's looking like they ain't got the clout like that for Ferrari. Because if they wanted Schwartzman in the seat, they'd put him in that seat. No,
factors.
Because if they would be paying for it, they would be financing that situation. But there is somebody else that's Ferrari that's on that list of seats for that seat, and it's your favorite driver, Antonio Giovinazzi. Are you looking forward to Antonio Giovinazzi's return to Formula 1?
Definitely. I'm not. No, I'm not. You know, I don't want to hate, man. People make me watch to think I'm a hateful guy. I'm really not. I really am a happy guy. I really want to, promote the sport and do all that things there. But I can't take mid. I really can't stand it. I hate it. So the fact is, we've seen him at Sauber. We've seen a Kimi who was half trying, pack him like he was working in McDonald's, pack him like he's working in Tesco on the shelves. We've seen it. So for a while, 3 years, it's not 1 year. 1 year I can understand, but 3 years. And now you took him out, now you're trying to bring him back to a place. Mick, who, let's be honest, yes, Mick has had the best season, but you're not even improving Mick. It doesn't make sense for me.
Wouldn't you say that's he went toe to toe with Kimi Räikkönen, even though it's the corpse of Kimi Räikkönen. It's still Kimi Räikkönen, though. No.
Well, Kimi's still doing him though. Kimi was still.
And that's a much tougher teammate than Mick against Magnussen.
Nah, but let's keep it chill though. Like Kimi has got a dog in him. It may be a bulldog, but K-Mag is a passion driver, man. That's the someone call this guy passion driver. He would do first lap crash. If that's a decent car, it's all beginning of the season. You'll do them crazy overtakes. We've seen K-Mag, packing, even pack Grosjean. And Grosjean again was levels with Kimi at Lotus. So
you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I swear to God, there was a year that Giovinazzi was quite close to Räikkönen. I don't know if it was 2020. It was COVID.
I think it's 2020. 2020.
What?
It was last season.
Listen. I'm not Marks. I ain't got no stocks in Giovinazzi. Yeah, but what I do respect is drivers that have been in Formula 1 already and have that experience. You get me? It's not like he's not a world beater, obviously, but he's like finished in the top 10 multiple times. I think he's finished.
It's a very uninspiring option. That's what I feel like, because
because what are you going to do as a team with Giovinazzi and Magnussen?
You ain't got nothing though. That's the thing. Like at least with Mick, there was the thing of this guy won F3, this guy won F2, this guy is signed by the Ferrari Academy, this guy's dad is Michael Schumacher, his uncle is Ralf Schumacher. Like they had that. Like he at least had the potential to go and do something in it. Cool. It may not be planned out like how he wanted to do, maybe moving like Cho or whatever. You can run your agendas and whatnot. But at least there's there's a plan with Mick, you know what I'm saying? With Gio, it seems like they're getting someone in from Ferrari. They're getting in, a guy who's, agenda aside, what I've heard about Gio is he's a very good, test driver. He's a very good guy, setting up the car to, we're wrong with this car, we should do this, we should put the brake bias up or whatever, the front wings won't.
Is he setting up that Rari right now? Because he ain't doing a good job.
Bro, he's a test driver, isn't it? They've been doing tests with that guy constantly. He's in the simulator right now at Maranello, apparently so. And that
this guy doing bare laps.
It's just crashing. And at least if Albon was coaching Yuki, when Red Bull did that last year. Albon was coaching my boy Yuki, he was doing this thing.
He crashes a lot. I'm not, you're right. From what I remember, he does crash a lot.
But man's been there in Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken, in his debut. Or his second season.
So in his debut in China, he binned the car in quali, destroyed the car, and then they had to rebuild it overnight. They were working overnight. They had to do a madness to get that car ready for the race, right? Within like 10 laps, he destroyed the car again.
And then, funny enough, guess what they did? Guess what they did that season? They dropped him for a full season again for Verline.
Yeah, he got dropped. Yeah, he definitely got dropped.
This is the second time that he got dropped. It's maybe like Kimi getting dropped.
He's got 22. Giovinazzi's got 22 career points. Magnussen's got 22 points this year alone.
This year. It's very uninspiring.
It's not an inspiring option. You're right. If they do that, we're gonna have to say they're trying to sell the team or something. They do.
And also, we have to question, these guys saying, you know what, we're not under Vries payroll. I really want to know, they're definitely under Vries payroll because that's the only team that's back in stocks in Geo because they need that Italian great hope, the days of Chuli and Fisher Killer.
The hope is over.
So
he's at 28. What hope?
Well, he's not a young man no more. Lingard hype, man, because
Lingard,
he's not the guy no more.
He's like the
Freeze, the young guy, Italian Jesus or whatever. That to me is blasphemous, anyways. Come on, man. We need to stop with this, man. But I'm glad that F1 Streets are clocking onto it now. They're clocking onto this guy just not being it. So I've done my job in it. I'll retire from hating if he doesn't come in this year. If he comes in this year, I'm back in the streets, man.
All right. So before we get on to the last person that's kind of linked, let's hear a quote from Steiner. He was asked what the criteria would be for the team's perspective on its preferred choice for the driver. Steiner said, "We have a choice. We have to make a choice based on who is best for the team, not just who I personally want. What is best for the team's future, and that will come out of the dialogue. What do you want to do? A riskier version, a safer version? What we are looking for is someone to bring the team forward, is a really fast driver and a solid driver who can help the team drive the team forward, someone who has high peaks and someone who helps us develop." Yeah.
What
so
Giovinazzi. What peaks? And I forgot to say as well, Formula E as well, because I know we're going to talk about another Formula E driver, later on in this, episode. Cool. That man, I know we've had his critiques of him. He at least won Formula E. All right. Not this season, last season. He at least won it. This Donny came in this year, yeah, got 0 points. Man got packed by Sergio set a camera, bro. Sergio set a camera, got more points than him.
All right, yeah. Anybody with logical sense, Giovinazzi is not an option. And if they do pick Giovinazzi, I'm putting Gunter in fraud watch. Because remember, he was on fraud watch at the beginning of the season. And we took him off because the car was actually good. Yeah. But we're putting you back on fraud watch if you do that. Especially after that quote. We need someone fast, someone that can help us develop the car, push the team forward, solid driver. Maybe that's the third driver on this rumor list, Nico Hülkenberg. Do you think they should go with Nico Hülkenberg to power on Magnussen next season?
I like Hülkenberg a lot. I really like Hülkenberg a lot. I've always said it, back in my days when I was back in Force India before they went bust. Hülkenberg was levels of Perez. People might look at me, questionable now, but trust me, Hülkenberg is level with Perez. The yin to the yang. Hülkenberg is a very good, consistent driver. Yes, you can say no podiums, cool, but man wasn't in the car to get podiums. He wasn't in the Mercedes or the Ferraris or the Red Bull. He couldn't be able to get podiums. So forget that. He was getting points constantly. When he came into the Aston Martin, man was getting P6 when that car should not even be getting points. Yeah. Hülkenberg's a very, very good, consistent driver. Obviously, again, he's had issues with K-Mag, so people can talk about the dynamics of the team. But even K-Mag in the interview said he's open for Hülkenberg to come in. So I feel like it could work with Haas. My only issue is the age thing. I can't lie. The age thing. Hulk's my guy. I still got tiny stocks in. The podium's gone. The podium ain't happening. But man's 35 now. And, I think Haas, they're saying that, because I remember last time with Mazepin and Schumacher, 2-year plan. The 2-year plan flopped. Now this year, like I said, they're trying to get a consistent driver with high peaks. Yes, Hülkenberg has had higher peaks of like P4, but I'm looking for the future, because they're meant to be Ferraris, whatever, beating, whatever they're meant to be. Hulk's got a couple of years, like a year or 2 years, and then he's gone now. So that's kind of my only issue. Like, I really Hulk is a good driver. I prefer him to like someone like Gio. Daniel Rick is a better option in my opinion. But the future, I feel like, is kind of uninspiring. I feel like Ferrari should go with somebody in their own academy, i.e. Schwartzman, instead of Hulk. But I've got no issues with Hulk. I feel like he'll do well. Similar to what K-Mag's doing now. I feel like he'll do a similar job. But yeah, it's an okay option. I say like a 6 or 7 out of 10. They could do better though. They could do better than that.
What would you do if you was Gunter? Who would you pick?
I'll go for Schwartzman. I've said it before. I'll go for, because the guys who you've picked, like you said, they're all tried and tested, but they've kind of had their time now. I feel like they've been okay. Like they haven't been excellent. Unluckily for Hülkenberg, he's Nick Heidfeld this year in it, so wrong place, wrong time in it. So he couldn't do anything, to show his worth or his podium or his wins. But I feel it's got to age now where it's kind of the end of his career. I feel like they should look for the next option. You tried Mick Schumacher, cool, didn't work. You've got the Ferrari seat for a reason. You've got a driver who's tested in the Ferrari Academy, yet it's unproven. So why not go for that when you've got like a Giovinazzi who I know Binotto's in his ears right now telling him to go for Gio, but Gio hasn't proven it. He really hasn't proven it. So why would you go for a guy who's done the 3 years in F1 but done nothing out of it when you've got a young option there who was done very well in the junior categories?
So yeah, that's it. Kwame Steiner has made his pick. Bobby Schwartzman for Haas. Knowing Haas, they'll probably pick Latifi or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Talking about Latifi, there's strong rumors that he is out of the door at Williams. And after De Vries is showing at Monza, they're saying it's a lock that they're going to be an Albon De Vries partnership in 2023 driver lineup. But after Monza, there's been a lot of rumors that De Vries has been linked with that AlphaTauri seat. And Helmut Marko spoke glowingly about him, which is weird because Helmut Marko doesn't speak glowingly about any driver that's over the age of 25. So it's strange that he's actually trying to scout De Vries, 27-year-old De Vries, or 28. I'm not sure. Can't remember. But yeah, so it looks like De Vries has kind of got a choice here. What would you do if you was De Vries? Would you go to AlphaTauri or would you go to Williams?
If I was De Vries, I'd go. Nah, you know what? I'd go AlphaTauri, but I'll go Williams. I think Williams should go for De Vries. AlphaTauri should not go for De Vries, in my opinion. Williams should go for De Vries, and I'll probably go for De Vries. To be honest with you, I feel like Williams as a team, yes, they are a worst car at the moment. Yes, they are a worst team at the moment. Back of the grid, we know how AlphaTauri are a bit better, but I feel like Williams have got as high as ceilings to go in the future. I feel like you also got Just Peter, got the Durton guys, you've got links to Volkswagen. Rumors, Porsche could even possibly, buy into their team or buy into stocks. We know how Honda might come with AlphaTauri, but AlphaTauri at the moment is going to be a B team to Red Bull. And I feel like with AlphaTauri as well, Max is going to stay in Red Bull forever. So he ain't going to be the number one driver in Red Bull. And I feel like that's where the whole De Vries AlphaTauri situation comes in, because obviously he's Dutch, Max is Dutch. Apparently they've been boys for a while now. Obviously apparently it's called Yuki as well. Even obviously this performance he did very, very well. So now team is different, saying P10 on debut. So I feel like again the Red Bull Academy is not good either at the moment. We be talking about the GC, they should go for someone like Arasa or Haja, but they're not kind of proven or consistent to move up to F1 yet. So they want a stopgap. Cool, but with the stopgap thing, you're only going to be there for a year, and if you don't perform, then they're going to kick you out. Whilst Williams, that's in my opinion more of a guaranteed seat. I know they've got Logan Sargent there in the background sniffing, but I feel like Williams will be less likely to chop and change compared to AlphaTauri. So that's why I'll go for Williams and AlphaTauri. Even though AlphaTauri got a better card moment, I feel like Williams got a better future and is more likely for you to, have a stable seat than AT.
How do you think he would fare if he was with Albon? Do you think he would do well, or do you think Albon might make it look a little bit silly?
I think Albon's better driver, man. I thought Albon's similar to the guys that Ocon that too. I feel like the gap would be closer between Albon and De Vries than it is between Albon and Latifi. But I think Albon is still brushing him out of the park. I feel like Albon will probably let's say Albon's getting like P8s. I think De Vries get between P10 and P12, for example, compared to Latifi be like P16, for example. So there'll be an improvement, but I don't think it'll be like a mad improvement for Albon to worry about him getting packed by Nick De Vries. You've seen them two in F2, and you've seen how Albon came ahead of De Vries in that season. So I've seen Albon and Red Bull as well get podiums. I don't see De Vries doing that.
News message for people: Albon's underrated, guys. He needs to stop getting disrespected. Now a couple of cast members listening to this. Stop disrespecting Albon. Albon developed that RB18,
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
People like and stuff like that. He's developed a bloody rocket ship. He was in the simulator 1,800 hours a week. You know what I mean? So he's a major part of what that is, especially from the driver's aspect.
I feel like the issue is like I feel like some people like us, me and you, we're seeing it now in that car, that Williams car. He's getting to the points. This season's got multiple points finishes. I believe he's finished the points 2 times, 3 times in the points.
He's absolutely destroying Latifi.
Destroying Latifi as well. Again, he jumped into the car after the season out as well. Remember, he's doing DTM. But DTM, he wasn't even doing that great either. I know it's different series, you know, touring cars compared to single seaters, but he's came in now. He's done a very good job. And yeah, people have seen it, but that's what I'm trying to say. The issue is because that Williams is so slow inside the back most of the time, a lot of people are not necessarily seeing like the overtakes he does or the racing he's doing or the starts he's having. But I feel like Albon's a very good driver. I feel like De Vries obviously got P10 to him on his debut, well done. For Albon, he's got P6 in that car, especially Williams on the straight is OP.
AT are moving very strange. Helmut Marko's moving very strange. Why go for De Vries? Why go for another driver that's not in your academy? I know we mentioned those academy drivers are not ready. Yuri Vips out the door. Liam North, they're not favorable for Liam Norton at the moment. I have no idea why. Ewasa, Hauger, Hajar. Ewasa, Hajar, they're not gonna have a super license. They ain't got one. So then they're not even in the frame for that. The academy is looking a bit mudded. AT, I've said this before. AT is for sale. AlphaTauri, that team is for sale. Red Bull do not want that team anymore. Because why would they even be thinking about De Vries? They're trying to sell it as an asset. They're trying to sell. You heard me here first. Cut this out on the pod, yeah.
It's funny.
They're trying to sell AlphaTauri to Honda. They're going to go to Honda and say, look, here's a team. Here's Yuki Tsunoda, and here's another driver. Be a works team. Give us some money.
Funny you said that in it because like I was reading something before when they were linked with Hertha in it, and they were saying there's rumors that Hertha was meant to be like a pawn in the AlphaTauri bids for Andretti to take over, allegedly. Because obviously when Andretti wanted to come in,
Colton, they would have sold it to Andretti.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Because obviously Andretti been trying to get Colton into F1. He's been the next American superstar, whatever. The next Max Verstappen, whatever they want to call him in it. Obviously he can get in anyways because of his issue with super license at the moment due to the whole IndyCar ruling gets F2, whatever. Cool. But if that went ahead, then yeah, the rumors are saying that would have put the foot in for Andretti to slowly take over AlphaTauri one day.
I definitely think the team is for sale. I definitely 100% think the team is for sale. Maybe they're using this ploy of, okay, let's put De Vries in. Let's put Colton Herter in. Let's try to make this a more attractable situation. So it's a team like a works team to actually put investment in that team and do some sort of like partnership with Red Bull. Red Bull, we heard that their deal with Porsche was broken down. They don't want to be taken over. So I don't know what Red Bull's going to do now and what direction they're going to go in terms of just making their own engine or maybe just teaming up with Honda again and possibly doing the type of situation they had back when Renault was making their engines and Renault was their own works team, but being better than the works team, if you get what I'm saying. But I definitely think that team's for sale. If they want to try to attract Honda back into the sport, driver pairing of maybe Yuki Tsunoda and De Vries would be a good one. Or maybe they want to put their own driver in there. But as you can see, they're actively not putting Red Bull drivers in those seats. And you would think, the person that's in the AT seat now, that's the person that they're going to use to replace Perez in 2024. But it doesn't look like that at the moment. Unless Yuki does a madness, he might replace him, or whoever comes up might replace him. But yeah. I guarantee Perez is not getting another contract after this one.
That's the thing that's with Red Bull. I don't know what I don't see their plan in their academy at the moment because I remember Francois even saying that Yuki's going to be our main driver in AlphaTauri, which is cool. I'm happy for my boy being the main guy in it of the team. But what does that lead to in the future? Because Gasly was the main guy in AlphaTauri, and now look at him, he's scrapping for a seat in Alpine. Like it's literally a sideways step. And the second driver, if they get the Perez, who's going to come in? Because I don't see them putting up Yuki. And then the other guys, like I said, they're not here at the moment. They're a bit too old. They're a bit too young for them to move up. So it's looking a bit iffy for me with the Red Bull. Apart from Max, Horner, Helmut Marko, and Newey. Apart from that, kind of group, the younger lot, the future of Red Bull, I don't know what they're trying to do.
The future of Red Bull's Max. Max is what, 24, 25. He's there till like he's 30.
Max and Vibes. Max nothing. That's it. And
they'll just poach another driver. That's good.
But twin constructors though, you need a good second driver though. We've seen this before. You need a good second driver. Because if you don't have a good second driver, and look at Mercedes lineup is scary. That's the best lineup on the grid of Russell and Hamilton. Cool. You see the lineup of Ferrari, Leclerc, and Sainz. We go into them two all the time, cool, but it's actually a good lineup. If they get the Perez, who they're going to get in the grid to replace him? That's what I'm thinking. If they're just going to do Avatar is the only thing, or sell it off, and their academy drivers are not the levels,
they'll hang about, because what's going to happen is if McLaren don't make a good car, by 2025, Lando's gone to Red Bull. I'll tell you that right now.
Lando playing second fiddle to Max though. I don't think Lando will do it. Obviously, they can do board and touch.
They'll let him go at it. They won't do second fiddle thing. They'll just let him go at it. I'll tell you now, they're just going to let him do whatever they want. But I don't know who's going to come out on top on that. But they've been scouting Norris for a very long time. They're just talking a madness about him. But I feel very uncomfortable with that. Hopefully, we build a better car. But what AlphaTauri and Red Bull decided at this moment in time is quite annoying. But everything that they're doing is very fishy. Very fishy. But it leads to AT being sold. They're no longer going to have a feeder team. They're not interested. And for De Vries, me personally, if you want a pathway to a top team, maybe stay at Williams, because you might do the whole, if you do well at Williams, you can go to Mercedes type of Russell type beat. Because Hamilton's not going to drive forever. So if you are that good, then you kind of put yourself in the picture. Ocon, who was a Mercedes driver, is an Alpine now. That's just done. You know what I mean? Gasly was rumored to go to Mercedes. Gasly's going to be at Alpine, so that's done as well. So that Hamilton seat, when Hamilton does decide to retire, is a free fall. So if you need to put yourself in the best situation to get into that seat. So if I was to freeze, I'd go to Williams. I wouldn't go to AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri, they'll put anyone in that seat. We're not going to be here in January saying AlphaTauri don't have a second driver when Pierre goes to Alpine. They're going to have somebody. They're going to get someone. Even if it's Liam Lawson, I don't know it. They'll just put him in.
Yeah. You don't know who it's going to be, but someone will be
there. They'll put in there. They don't care.
Or bringing back Al-Ghashari. God forbid, man.
They don't give a damn. He's still the test driver for them, isn't it?
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah, but keep your eyes peeled, everybody, on the situation over at Williams.
But yeah, with the Vries and Mercedes, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think he's got a seat in F1.
Because Toto is the manager in it, so that's a free seat.
Toto's manager.
Yeah,
he's not going. He's not going AT. People need to stop gassing.
But no. The thing is, though, with Toto, he's coming to the last contract with Toto, so that's why it's kind of free falling. Yeah, the last year it was still with Toto.
Imagine De Vries ends up actually being good. That would be hilarious. But he's cooking for AlphaTauri. Ridiculous. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna have to edit this bit out. My battery's dying. We're back. We returned. Yeah, thank you for doing that. Anyways, so we'll move on to the next topic, which is Silverstone. So Silverstone tickets came out last week. Highly anticipated. Everybody was waiting, including myself. And the ticket systems is just it's a joke. People were waiting online for 5, 6, 7 hours just in an online queue, and then you had to keep looking at the screen and keep refreshing, or they'll kick you out if you don't do 5 minutes of activity. And then once they had the loaded screen, it would reload again, and it had one price. And then obviously with the demand, they'll put another price. I understand that situation with the system putting up different prices, because obviously it's got software where whatever stand or whatever has more demand, they'll put the price up, and obviously they're entitled to make whatever money, because Silverstone's broke as a company. They've been trying to they were gonna shut the race down because they don't make any money, whatever like that. But we're seeing extortionate rates. We're seeing £500, £600. It's becoming completely inaccessible for people, especially in the cost of living crisis where we're living at the moment. Do you think, Kwame, it's got a bit out of control, or is this what it's like? Look, popularity of the sport goes up, supply and demand. We've got to put the prices up.
Nah, it's gone off hand, man. Like, bro, like saying, like, I can get your simple supply and demand. I mean, I get that, you know, like I said, the sport is getting more popular. You have, you know, Drive to Survive fans. You have the sport, you know, trying to reach out in America. You know, I really get the sport, you know, being, you know, more popular. You know, we've got, you know, 3 good British drivers, well, 4 if Albon, but also, you know, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, you know, all doing their thing this season. So I get the fans wanting to go. I really get that, and I get, you know, like I said, different seating places are gonna have, you know, different ticket prices. You know, the straight is gonna be a different price to, let's say, Maggots with the Chapel, with the Beckett's, whatever. I totally get that, but my thing is, pardon me, they've got to have the software and the system, you know, to prevent these crashing. You know, cool. I understand you may not be expecting over 210,000 people. That's what the number they claim, about 210,000 fans trying to buy tickets. I really get that, but you have to have a system in place that prevents this. Similar with the, you know, tickets going extortion amount to what, £500 or £600 for a ticket, which is in itself as a joke. Again, Silverstone, F1 in general has never been the most affordable sport. It's not like, you know, you can go to. It's not like a football academy ticket where you can go like, you know, cool, £5 or, you know, youth game, whatever. No, it's not. It's never been like that. F1. It's always been expensive. We understand that as fans, but like I said, there's levels to this. Like, I feel like they should have the pricing system in place that kind of prevented a more secure pricing system that prevented this, you know, to get in place, because the fact that the tickets gone that much high extortionate, and I know as well within the space of a week, is like a joke. This is something you see in wireless, bro. It's something you see in wireless, like the way
this is like 100 tickets or something. Like, it's going in 2 seconds. It's like if you're trying to see Drake, Coco or something.
And the crazy thing is, like, that I guarantee people are not even doing resale tickets for Silverstone. It's not even like, you know, a festival or concert where, you know, their man buy a ticket straight away, then they resell it. Ain't even like the F1. So, and we're saying this in the group chat as well. It's mad how you can go to Italy. No, Italy, other places, Monza's probably cheaper to go to. Hungary and Spa have always been cheap places, but it's mad how you can go abroad and it'd be cheaper than staying in, you know, in the UK, for example, to watch a race. It's a joke. And Silverstone's not even the most
400,000 people. 400,000 people went to Silverstone last year. If you're charging them 300 a pop, how much money are you making? That's just a low amount for 300 a pop. Some people are getting charged like $1,000, $2,000 for all that main stand stuff. Like for real. Do you know what's so funny?
What?
Me waiting in line like that, I could get a ticket to a Champions League game easier than that. I could get a ticket to the biggest Premier League game of the year easier than that.
It's funny saying that, because often my boys here, because they're from them sides, they're going City, Dortmund. Them man were able to get tickets on the day. City versus Dortmund. Do you know how insane that is?
That's City, though. Not the slander City.
Yeah, I know it's group stage. And I know it's City. But still, like, that is an elite sporting fixture that you can get right there for a cheap price.
Think about it, and that's a limited capacity. They only have it. Let's say I want to watch Arsenal versus Manchester United in the stadium, and it's got limited capacity. There's only 60,000 people, 70,000 people. This is an open field where a track is 400,000 people.
400,000 people, man.
Why is your ticket more than arguably the biggest sport in the world? I don't understand what's going on here. And like you just mentioned, it's an elitist sport. It's not really targeted or marketed towards people that are just your everyday folk. You know, it's more towards the upper class. Like, you don't see everyday folk at Monaco, you know, per se. This is derived from a rich man's sport, and it's kind of like, oh, rich people watch this, and we watch our cars go around, and oh, I know a guy that owns the team and stuff like that type of behavior. And that's where it very much was for a large amount of years of Formula One history. Obviously, Drive to Survive, popular, it's gone up. I remember being a kid and being younger, like Silverstone, you get Silverstone ticket like that. That wasn't even a hard thing to get, you know what I'm saying? Even though I never went, I had like family that have gone there and stuff like that. So, and I know a lot of people that have actually gone to the race back in the day. So it wasn't as demanded for. It's a good thing because obviously the sport has become more popular. But my problem is advertising one price, then upping another price.
Yeah.
I remember looking at it last year. I could probably get a ticket for like 190, 200 pounds. Now it's just like 500 pound minimum.
It's not a good look, man.
It's not really a situation where, yeah, you're taking advantage. Yes, Silverstone as an event place has had financial hardships over the last couple of months, and they're really taking advantage of that situation. And yes, you're kind of putting people in a situation where if I stay on a queue for 5-6 hours online and I've been refreshing, and I'm just like staying active on the thing, I'm already invested in it now. So whatever price comes up, I'm gonna pay it. That's a problem because I've sat here for 5 hours expecting in my head, oh, it's gonna be 200 quid, it's gonna be 150 quid. Then it comes up 500 quid, but then you thought, I've just wasted 5 hours here. It's a bit of a sunk cost fallacy in that sense. It's a business term, whatever. Like, I've already invested this time, so I might as well pay for it. So
them ones there where you've got a card reader there, you've got everything. So you got your card there, card reader, your screen's there. You want to buy it, and you're waiting, and you're like,
bro, for real, like, don't let this turn into the sneakers app. Don't let this Silverstone thing turn into the sneakers app or a Yeezy raffle. Don't let this happen where it's like, oh, please pick me. Can I buy a ticket? No, it's an open field in Northampton. Yeah, let man through in it. Let me run some bread and let man through and let me watch this race in it, because it's not. I'm not to say it's fair. I don't want to be the old man that's a hater, but like, this has been my sport from day one. Why are you lot all jumping on now and going to races when I don't go to races and stuff like that? I don't want to be the old man hater in the corner, but just don't pay the prices, guys. Come on, man.
Yeah, don't.
We got to protest this, man. At the end of the day, because it's going to get to the point where it's £1,000 a ticket. What we do?
Facts. Because
this ain't an Adele concert.
Well, that was insane. That was at Hyde Park as well, man. That's just a bunch of gone Central London.
Yeah, but no, but it's not an Adele concert. It's 400,000 people. Adele's not singing in front of 400,000 people.
There you go.
It's an open field in Northampton, and there's money. People are sleeping in tents. Come on, man. Let's be serious. If I check resale prices right now of Silverstone tickets, yeah. What's your guess?
I'm gonna say yeah, rack store for 1,000. Yeah, I'm gonna say something like that, 800 to 1,000. Because we saw they want to bump up in there, so yeah, 800 min.
I'm on the official website. I'm not even. Okay. It says sold out. General admission, 3 days sold out. We've got Friday admission. Yeah. That's practice, obviously. £129 to watch practice. One day.
Oh, yeah.
Quali 179. Yeah. Race day sold out 279 minimum price. It wasn't 279.
Yeah.
So they're capping. No, look. So they've got some grandstands. So if you want to sit at the chapel, actually, if you want to sit at Beckett's, the minimum price right now is £629 just for Sunday. How is this acceptable?
That's insane. So imagine that as well. If you do qualifying,
I can watch Anthony Joshua fight Fury for cheaper than that. Them tickets ain't even out yet, but I guarantee I can get it cheaper. Brother, I can get a box. I can get a box at the Lakers. What we doing? This is all of these prices. Cheapest I've seen on the stands right now on race day is £459. It needs to end, man. If I can go cheeky Budapest Hungary race, 300 all in. Flights, ticket, hotel, 300 all in. Probably. It needs to stop, man. But at the end of the day, Silverstone, if you'd like to sponsor our trip, Pitstop Fracas to Silverstone, we are available. And we can
we love that. We love that here. And we help you how to, make it more affordable and open to other people as well. We do that as well for free. Yeah.
We definitely won't open a side gate and let people in.
No, we won't do
definitely won't do that. Lastly, today they've released the 2023 calendar. So I don't know your thoughts on this. I want to know your thoughts on this.
Let me get the message. Get the message up that I said, because boy,
we've got 24 races now. First of all, do you think 24 is too much?
Yeah, it's too much. Way too much, man. Way too much. But you said the perfect thing on a tweet the other day. Like, Everyone needs to stop thinking more is good. You need to stop thinking more is good. Like sometimes the exclusive factor of F1, like I'd like it back in the day when you have 18 races and cool. Yes, it was less accessible because you don't have like a race in, let's say, Australia or Japan for flower races, or even Malaysia. That's the furthest they'll go, right? Japan, that's it. But that way though, like the championship was tighter because it meant, if you crash out in one race, you could be done for the season. Like literally, if you don't finish in the points, it makes the championship more closer. And also, like F1, I feel like every race should be a spectacle. Like, cool, not every race is going to be, cars overtaking. Some races is going to be, literally no overtakes. We get that. But now it's coming like everyone's coming like football, man. It's coming like the baseball season. Flipping games every weekend. Look at how, the NFL does it. Okay, it's every week, but it's for a short period in the autumn, winter time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to start doing less is more sometimes. Not every day, bare races, fly out to this country, fly to that country. Sometimes slim it down a bit. But I guess, as Lewis says, cash is king in it. So they're going to do more races to get more money.
So for listeners who haven't seen the new calendar, let me just go through it. So we've got a 24 race calendar for 2023, and it starts obviously on March 5th, Bahrain, Saudi. So that's normal, and Australia. So same as this year. The inclusion of China. So they've brought China back. They brought Azerbaijan forward, Baku, to April rather than his usual June slot that it's had for the last couple of years. Miami's there. So we've gone from Baku to Miami. I'm flying from Baku
in a week
to Miami. The same way they did Baku to Canada, which I thought was stupid on a back-to-back. Do you know how far that is? So so it's stupid because May 7th you go to Miami, then you go to Imola, then you go to Monaco, then you go to Spain, then you go to Canada. Why can't you just swap Miami and Spain so it's back-to-back in the Americas? I can understand Miami not being with the other American races because it's at the Hard Rock Stadium and the Dolphins are playing. So there's absolutely no chance that a race is
and hockey season's well as well. So,
but that's the off season NFL in June. Yeah. So is it hurricane season in Miami?
Hockey season as well in Miami. You have to watch out for at the beginning of the year.
What's the difference of a month? I don't really get it. What, May 7th and June 4th?
That's not difference, man. That's not difference, man. It's really no difference.
You could do that. You'll say so. Instead of going from Azerbaijan to Miami, you can go from Azerbaijan to Imola to Monaco to Spain to Miami to Canada. That makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, as you may have heard, Imola is back again. Monaco back for 5 years. Let's go. Heritage. We won again. They tried to get me out.
Again, Monaco GP. If you're watching this, please sponsor. The guys and girls at Pitstop Fracas. I really need a bottle or something, or a yacht or something at Monaco, please. I'm a guy.
Give us a pit stop yacht. Give us a pit stop yacht. Give Kwame all the bad please. But honestly, like Monaco, I'm so glad that's there for the next 5 years. It's really a special track, and when it comes to that quality on a Saturday, that's what I'm here for. You get me? Austria, they brought it forward, so it's before Silverstone now, and we're looking at a packed July now. We've got 4 races in July. So we've got Austria, Silverstone, Hungary, Belgium. So Spa is now before the summer break. And when we return from summer break, we're back in Zandvoort. So yeah, let's just go through the new ones. They've included Qatar in October, in between Japan and USA. Bit strange.
That makes no sense, man. They should put that again. They should put Qatar literally with the other Middle Eastern races.
Even at the beginning of the
Bahrain. End. Yeah, do it at the beginning, man. Same with Abu Dhabi. Put that in the beginning. Let's end the Brazil heritage. I don't care about.
I would rather, even if we ended at Las Vegas, I'll be happy. Can we just stop ending that AD, please? Can we put AD?
They need to force it because they've been trying to force this AD finale. They've been trying to force it.
Like the sheikhs over there, please rescind your money, man. Just take the start. Go like rap. You can have the opener before.
I'd rather have opener than Bahrain. I'd rather have opener Abu Dhabi. Cool. But come on, man. That makes sense. Why would Abu Dhabi and Las Vegas? It makes sense.
Okay, so this makes sense. Yeah, we've got USA Austin, Kota, elite track up there. Yeah, then we've got Mexico. Then we've got Brazil. That makes sense.
The Americas bit makes sense. Yeah.
USA to Mexico to Brazil makes sense. Yeah, but then you go back to Las Vegas. Why don't you just do USA, Las Vegas, Mexico, Brazil, end at Brazil? Why are you going from Brazil all the way back to Vegas? When Las Vegas and Mexico are basically like driving distance from each other. Mexico City, Las Vegas, you could drive that. I'm not driving from Sao Paulo to Las Vegas. What, like, the brain is not computing over here, man. Like, please, like, open the brain, Dominicali, man. And then I don't know where the year after that, where what's the name fits into this, where Kalami fits into this.
Kalami,
that has to be like the
25 races
Arab
as well.
or something.
25 races. I think it's with Kalami as well. It's South Africa as well. So literally, nowhere is really near.
Actually, you know what's near Brazil?
Get South America. Yeah, South America could possibly work.
But I don't know. I get your point. I personally want if I'm being really honest, I'd want a 16 race calendar. But I might accept
too short for me, but
nah, because at the end of the day, yeah, everybody wants this track, and it needs to be a world championship, whatever. I just say rotate it. So if Miami ain't on this year, then it'll be on next year, and just like you always have a switch up, so the season's not always the same.
Yeah.
So you got a set amount of races for 2023, then you got set amounts of races for 2024, and then you got that the ones that remain in the calendar no matter what, and then the other ones get rotated on a every 2-year basis. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, look, this is fast food racing. Why am I seeing 24 races? Do you know how exhausting a triple header is? I don't know whether it's because we make content or whatever. Do you know how exhausting?
No, same. Exhausting, bro. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Like watching Zandvoort, then Monza, and what was the other one as well? Look, I even forgot. What was
Belgium,
Spa, Zandvoort. That's exhausting. 3 weeks in a row. Come on, man. I know you kind of reduced the triple headers, but like, we don't need more. Leave it as the spectacle it is. Let's build up some anticipation. Let's treat each individual race as it should be, as a special occasion, and let's increase some jeopardy. Let's put some jeopardy. I don't even know if I said that word right.
Well,
you know what?
Yeah, I know what you
mean. Let's put the level of risk there, because if you lower the races, that's the less amount of races you can get points. That means every race matters. That means if a DNF happens, you're finished. You are finished. If you back in the day, if you got a DNF in 1999, you're done out here. You are finished. Like, because especially if the other guy's reliable. Like, honestly, I need to bring that type of situation back here. Me personally, I'm gonna watch every race regardless, even if there's a title race or not a title race. I'll still watch that race. You get what I'm saying? But I'd rather there be some sort of like anticipation and like craziness going on at every race, and reducing that calendar and having less races makes it more special. Like you just said, the NFL regular season makes sense because yes, there's multiple games going on one day, but for each team they've only got 16 games, so they know they got to perform. If I'm looking at the NBA, you got 82 games. Nobody cares about the NBA in November. I swear to God. Like, you got 82 games, bro.
Everyone's watching the playoffs, man. Everyone's watching the playoffs. I can't lie.
Baseball's on every single day. Every single day. And the only bit that matters is October when it's the playoffs and the World Series. Nobody cares about the rest of it. Unless you actually go to the game. And I understand that, because that's one of those ones where, I'm going out and it's really accessible tickets. I can go to the baseball game, whatever. I can go to NBA game, regular season, whatever. Because people just treat it as a day out. We're not treating them F1 as a day out, because I've got to pay £800 for a Silverstone ticket. So the math ain't mathing. Obviously, we need to spread it around the world. We need Kalami back. We need to make it a real world championship, of course. But we need to not manufacture this sport to the point where people can become jaded about what we're watching here. Like, we don't want people to be like, there's another race. Like, the excitement you feel of when there's lights out and stuff like that, it will be heightened even more if you know there's only like 17, 18 races. I thought the 2020 season was brilliant, even though the 2020 season, Lewis Hamilton doubled everybody.
Fact,
but there was only 17 races and it was lit.
So many different races that we ain't seen. I'm seeing Turkey back. I'm seeing Portugal back. I've seen so many races that I haven't seen in a long time. And it's just exciting and different, man.
This season would be lit if the race. What race are we on now? 17.
Yeah. 17,
let's say the season ended right now. It would be lit. Max 1. It's over. Now we can move on to the next season. Obviously, you want to spread it out a bit more, months-wise and stuff like that, and dates-wise. But we've seen a good a portion of good races this year. Why do we feel like we need to have more and more and more? And then we're going to end up with a 30
race weekend. We are finished against that, man. But
Think about
they've got the limit.
the
They've got the limit on
families
the thing. It was 25. That's a poundie on the Concord agreement. They've got a limit there. But I know the Carly wants to get 25. But my thing is, if we're tired, I can't imagine about the thing, the engineers, the aerodynamicists, the drivers, the team principal leaders, and these men got families as well.
Flying all over the gaff. Don't get to see your families. Building a car, setting up, transport. The amount of costs that are involved in it. Like if you did a smart slimline calendar that made sense, both logistically and fan wise and track wise, you would have a better spectacle than what you have right now. You definitely would. And people would argue with me and say, no, we need to have X amount of races. I don't care. Let's just keep the sport a special occasion. That's what it should be.
No, first. It
should not be a fast food sport. I don't want to see, we've got 82 races this year still. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see, we're going to have another sprint race. I don't like sprint races. I'm not going to lie to you. I gave it a chance last year. I was like, especially Brazil. I was like, this is good. I've seen Imola this year. I've seen Austria. It ain't it, Chief. I watch sprint races every weekend with F2 and F3, yeah?
Either for F2, man, yeah. Leave it there, man.
And even there, it's like, the feature race is always better than the sprint race. Tell you that now. In F2 and F3.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the point of all the Jeopardy and stuff like that? It's stupid. It's ridiculous. But 2023 calendar, I'm giving it a 2 thumbs down. Where's Sepang? Where's Sepang? Bring back Sepang. Do you know what's the only redeeming thing that I don't think people have noticed? Or they forgot about? No more Paul Ricard. Get that track out of here. It's gone. It's not on the calendar.
That's how forgetful it is, though.
That's how nobody even cared that the French GP is gone. I say rest in peace. Get that airstrip out of here. I'm happy that track like Las Vegas.
Speaking of F1, though,
Qatar I don't like.
Qatar can drop out. Qatar can drop out, man.
That was
a dead race, man.
That was a dead race last year. That had nothing to do with the drivers. It was just a dead track. I'm excited to see China. China's a very good track.
China's a good track. China's very high speed. I enjoy China. Good to see them back.
So I'm glad they're back, but just get rid of Qatar and put Sepang there. It could have been Singapore, Japan, Sepang. So Singapore, Suzuka, Sepang. That would have banged. Even Korea. Put Korea on there.
Sepang, though, them on the
spot. Got enough Asian legs anyway.
They always did Sepang in the monsoon season. They knew what they're doing. But why was it always raining when you were there? Because they knew that the racing there would be
elite races.
That was time Bernie, man, with the sprinklers and them things there.
But you'll never hear me say bring Bernie back. That's not a thing that can happen.
I do it for only jokes, innit? That guy should be in Penn, but I'll do it for Bants, innit?
Man said it should be in Penn, but I'll do it for Bants. Get the hell out of here.
But but yeah, that's it. France, I know they're trying to bring it back with Nice. I know they're trying to do Nice, but again, F1 for the show, I think what they should do is, like I said, 18 race season or whatever, have the main races, so like your Silverstone, your Monzas, your Monacos, even something like your Suzuka as well, or Brazil. Have them as like the staple, and then you can rotate the Dutch Grand Prix. You can rotate Las Vegas and
every year, brother.
Rotate it.
But you know the one I want to see every year, Suzuka.
There you go.
Interlagos, Spa.
There you go.
All these other ones, they can be rotated in and out, man. It's not like I'm going to cry about it if I know it's going to come back next year. Get me?
And they can drop Imola as well. Stop doing the 2 Italian.
Why
come off Imola.
I think Imola's all right.
No, it's a good track, innit? But the fact you've got 2 Italian Grand Prix for whilst I ain't got Kalami, it doesn't feel right with me. But I get
I'm not against Imola.
Get the Italian money in it.
But them man have got good tracks in it.
Azerbaijan in it. It's interesting.
What's the
Obviously,
other track? What's the other track they did? I forgot the name.
Mugello. Mugello's cool.
Mugello's good as well.
Mugello's cool. Mugello's cool. I prefer Mugello to Imola.
Mugello's good as well. Yeah. What's your listeners' questions now?
Yeah, let's go for
some of them.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody for putting in your listeners' questions. Let me just go through them at once. We have at ends45. Once Max secures the W, will you all continue to watch races this season? So I think when he said secure the W, that means secure the W. Would you? Are you still?
Yeah, I'll still watch it.
I'll still watch it. When Lewis used to win the title, and like, I think, look, I'll be totally honest with you, the only season I haven't watched in the last 20 years was 2013.
I think I watched every season, but with me though, like obviously I'm not going to be available every Sunday doing it, so like or every Saturday.
No, I'll watch the race. I'm not going to be there sometimes because obviously I've got stuff to do. But I'll watch the race.
Yeah,
like if Max secures the title this weekend, let's say Charles DNFs or something, and Max is world champion at Singapore, then I'm not going to moan about it. I'll carry on watching. You think I'm not going to watch Interlagos? Are you crazy? I'm watching that race because at the end of the day, it's still a race. At the end of the day. I don't need championship permutations for me to be hooked. I support McLaren, mate.
But so, me, I'm watching for the racing, innit? Not for my team. Like, joke aside, my team's that's supporting that. They ain't that playing. So I don't really care. I'm watching for the racing, bro. That's what I'm watching for.
I'm watching it for the racecraft and everything that's out there, the cars, all that. I don't really care about who's champion or not. Genuinely, I don't care. I've always said this on record. Like, if F1 had robots driving, I'd watch it. Big man thing. Big man thing. If robots were driving the car, then it's just an engineering competition, like whoever builds the best car.
It's funny, you know that they try to do that thing. They try to do something called Weber race, but I think that thing flopped. But yeah, I ain't be surprised if they do that even.
Okay, so we've got another question from who's at Haas XYN. XYN. Mercedes win. Is it still on the table?
Yeah. I'll also say yes. Because cool, there's only 6 races left now. It's not a lot. But like I said, all it takes is Ferrari to do Ferrari and not be up there, and Red Bull to DNF. That's all it takes. And
Red Bull, all their engine has to just go poof. If their engine goes poof,
that's all it does. That's all it needs to do.
If their engine goes poof, how much times has Mercedes been on the podium? If it's right now, if it's Mercedes versus Ferrari have come out today and said the technical regulation has slowed them down. Yeah, which is a howler. So that means their car was illegal in it, which means Charles Leclerc has no legal wins again. So Sainz, no wins, no dubs, no poles, illegal. But if that's really the case where they can't really understand where the performance is coming out of the car anymore, and they're only like setting up for quali now, Merc might doppy him. And if Merc can doppy him and Red Bull, either they make a mistake or the engine blows up, or we're like winning, like, you know, where that's territory of the season where cars just DNF for no reason. We're around that season, but part of the season, especially with the cost cap, people are not going to be changing up engines, putting brand new engines in. They're not going to do that anymore. Going to think about next year. So there is an opportunity that Merc can win multiple races. I don't think. Listen, you know, when Merc used to win the constructors title and the drivers title quite early, and then that's where Red Bull used to stat pad wins at the end towards the end of the season.
Because Red Bull's still developing that car.
Merc is going to be stat padding, man. They're going to be stat padding wins, man. They're going to get that AD win. Nobody cares because Max is on holiday. Because he's like, I don't care. Why do I need to win an AD? I don't give a damn. But yeah, definitely at Haas XYN.
Yes.
There's a win on the table there. We have Docs on Quack 9. Which overtake was better, Webber on Alonso at Spa 2011 or Danny Rick on Alonso at Sochi last year? I don't remember the Danny Rick on Alonso at Sochi last year.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Webber Alonso one is elite anyway. So
Webber on Alonso is crazy. That's like historical. That Danny Rick one, I don't remember that. What are you on about?
This guy McLaren fan doesn't remember it.
No, man, I need to have a look at this. If you're thinking, why is he typing in my ear? I need to look at this because
Yeah, I don't care
that's
to-
so random. Sochi overtake in 2011. Oh no, 2000 and I don't think that's a real overtake.
Let me see here.
It's not even on YouTube, brother.
Might have to cut
I
it
think
out.
he's trolling us. Don't send us a message that's trolling.
No, I've seen the clips. It's on the F1 website. It's like 21 seconds. Let me.
What was he doing in that race anyway?
So lessons, by the way, for this, but we're confused as
Wasn't he
you.
fighting for his life? You know, Norris was fighting for his life. Okay, let me see this. I think I found it. Yeah. Let me just.
Oh, this one. Yeah, where was one any day, man?
Why are you showing me this? Oh, hold on. Let me watch this. That's a normal overtake, brother.
It's a good overtake, to be fair. No, it's a good overtake, but where was one any day? That one is.
It's a good overtake, but brother, Yuki Tsunoda's overtake on Leclerc in Jeddah is better than that.
I'm saying Rouge.
There's multiple overtakes last year that's better than that overtake.
Come on, man.
Dude, why have you've disrespected Webber and Alonso? Alonso was the victim, and you disrespected him.
I spent Alonso agenda, but
that overtake is so random because I don't even think that's the best overtake in that race, you know.
Boy,
in that
I don't think the best thing to take in Ricardo's career because Ricardo Red Bull, his overtakes were so class, man. That guy used to always do late braking without never locking up or cooking up his tires. I didn't know how he did that.
Ricardo did double overtake in Hungary this year on Alonso and Ocon. That was cold.
That was better.
Come on, man. Let's see if we got any more. At D Conscious, when will Anik be punished for his crimes? We're loading some. Don't worry about it. I told you we're loading something. Got something special for all of you when Anik pays for his crimes. Because Anik's on the low right now. He's at a low point because he's realized the technical regulations has affected Ferrari. And why would it affect a Ferrari if the car was legal? So now we're at a point where the car's not legal and the car is slow. So he can't even claim clout for any of the Bahrain races, the Austria win. Look, he won away. What else did he win? It's not many, to be fair. Australia. Can't even claim any of these wins anymore, brother.
You know when he does, I am the fastest man in pit stop, yeah? That's how you know this guy's got nothing else to say. Because that's always his backup now.
He's in the mud. So for listeners and audience and watchers and everybody like that, Anik's in the mud right now. He's very much. His appearances on the pod might lessen because he bigged up Ferrari. Said they're going to win the world championship. He said Anik is going to. He said Charles Leclerc is going to win the world drivers championship. Ferrari's going to win. It's going to be a walkover. This is their year. Essa Ferrari, all of that kind of stuff. We're in September now. We have an illegal car. We have a man 100 plus points down in the championship. We have Ferrari fighting for their lives against Mercedes. We have a car that's slow now. We have a car that's illegal again. We have Charles Leclerc just losing his mind right now, sticking out on pole and just not converting any poles anymore. He has one of the worst pole conversion rates in the history of Formula 1.
That conversion rate is crazy, man.
It's absolutely disgusting. We've got Bonotto saying, our focus was only to get wins this year and not the championship, even though you was in a championship winning position and it was 80 point plus up on Max Verstappen. You got Elkan saying Charles is the number one driver and Bonotto saying he's not. It's an equal partnership of the team.
But that's just fight politics. There again, we've seen this before with Alonso days. We've seen it before Vettel days. Even Raikkonen, Massa, we've seen it. That's just how far I do with drivers.
Guess what? Ferrari's got issues, and they ain't gonna sort it out for next year. And Merck's gonna take their spot.
Boy,
they're gonna be back to where they was before. Like all them Ferrari accounts, the Ferrari news account, they're all gonna go quiet.
I can't let them man still be there because the first will do Tifosi things.
They weren't there before. They weren't there in 2010, 20 when their car was absolutely mid and Seb and Charles were crashing into each other. Them accounts were around. I want to hear it.
I've got a question for you though.
They come out of the woodwork when they thought Ferrari had a chance, but Ferrari don't have a chance right now. It is basically the equivalent of 2013 right now.
But yeah. My question is for you though. Do you think when you think they'll get the Binotto? Because you know how Ferrari are very, very quick in the pass of principles. Over Bene is now doing up in Juve, out of all places, flopping up their whole team. Their whole team is finished. That's another conversation. Doing Allegri and whatever. I don't know what he's doing. You've got Luca at the moment, F1, F1. So
Bonotto's gonna be sacked at the end of the season. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Elkan does not like this guy. They bashed heads. Elkan he's the guy that hired Charles. Bonotto favors science. Bonotto's the new generation. Elkan's the kind of old generation. Reve Bene's hired Charles Leclerc. There's too much politics going on over there. And Bonotto, to be totally honest, is not a good team principal. That's just from my outside. He might be a nice guy, and I'm not slighting him at all. He's like personality.
That's the guy.
I'm definitely just saying that he might not be the right man for the job to organize this organization. Because, you had the car that's quite good, but everything else regarding leadership and strategy and just where we're going with it, he's tried to ease the tensions off the drivers, which I think is a good thing. Saying that we're not going for the championship and stuff like that. He's tried to take the pressure off him, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like a situation that's looking too good. And even if I feel like, do you know what's so funny? I feel like even if they were closer in the championship, that would trigger even more mistakes.
Yeah, the pressure, especially with Ferrari, just cooks them.
Exactly. So even if people are out there thinking, no, the car blew up and blah, 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 even if the car blew up and then in that situation, I think the strategy was still messing up. They would make a decision or make a slow pit stop. Something would happen. I think Bonotto is very much dropping the line. Listen, Chris dropped stocks. Chris is the biggest.
Yeah, he dropped
stocks. He said this guy's not it. So here we are, man. But thank you for all your listeners' questions. Bit of housekeeping again. If you like this, please like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're interested in any merch, please click in the link. Get yourself some discount Mick Schumacher merch because he's not going to be in Formula 1. Do your thing. Hit the link in the description on the YouTube and the Apple Podcasts on Spotify as well. Follow us on Pitstop Fracas on Twitter. Follow us on Pitstop Fracas on Instagram. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Yes, there's no race, but we'll still be back. But this time we won't be late, obviously. It's down to me, obviously. Thank you very much, and peace out. Peace.
Safe.